I am in awe. How can this movement go backwards?
If you're pro Boycott Hoyo, should we stop playing or interacting with the game or not?
My god! And you wonder why this boycott is a joke. The fact that you must ask yourself that question is the reason why this boycott is failing.
I have heard good points from both sides.
No, there are no good points on the other side.
Why would you want to play a game that is owned by a company that makes minors wearing sexual outfits and in suggestive ways, gun girlsy, and is extremely racist?
Because people find the game fun. If you find the game immoral, why are you still playing? Maybe because they're fun?
Not to mention the Zionist collaborations too, but let's put that point aside.
What? I am not letting that slide. The Zionists? The Jews? You know what? Go ahead and continue your boycott. I want to see how far you all will go because they have not only gone backwards intellectually, but also morally. These Hoyo boycotters continue to astonish me at how low they sink themselves. Even if they have a righteous cause that I fully support, which they don't, their methods of furthering this cause are some of the most backwards, unproductive, and meaningless methods there are. There are no boycotts happening here. You will fail, and your causes will not be heard, especially when the people that are in your movement act like this. This is not several steps backwards. This is Superman traveling around the planet to travel back in time backwards.
Why have I reinstalled Genshin Impact?
Yes, this Hoyo boycotter reinstalled Genshin. Long story short, this junkie relapsed and went back to Hoyo so that it doesn't give Hoyo defenders a place to call home. You should not call a free-to-play gacha game a place to call home, you junkie. This junkie stole their mother's credit card to spend $20 to $40 every few weeks on Hoyo to the point where the whole family is homeless. Wow, you are justifying the addiction that caused your family to be homeless, you junkie scumbag. I love how you justify your whole movement as criticism. There's no critique. This whole movement is built on moral outrage from narcissistic people who demand representation because they didn't get enough attention and validation. I personally think these people should seek therapy instead of begging for fiction to recognize them. But then again, therapy is expensive nowadays, so what else can you do than cry on the net? But yeah, I do want to see how these Genshin boycotters continue to spiral downwards, and they will continue their downward spiral. These people really need to get off their games and get laid. This guy right here desperately wants to get laid. He took a picture of some random couple being happy and expressed his bitterness on seeing other people being happy. I honestly never understand this. I'm single through high school, I'm mostly single through college. I have never felt jealous of other couples because I don't really care about their life. I care about my own life, which consists of playing video games, making dumb videos, streaming dumb stuff. Let me give you some tips as someone who has been single and taken. Asking the girl out is the easiest part. Trust me, relationships are a lot harder to keep than they are to get. If you see couples being happy together, that's because it's the only side they're willing to show. Even the happiest couples argue from time to time, and it's healthy for that to happen. Happiness is not something that's given to you. You want to be like this couple? Stop whining and start asking girls out. And remember, that's the easy part. Otherwise, stay single. Honestly, being single is really not the worst thing that can happen to you. Heartbreaks, arguments, and drama are a lot worse when you are with someone. And if you are with someone, avoid the red flags and stay with the green ones. Here are the green flags of women. Doesn't have a male best friend. I agree, that's weird. No tattoos. Personal preference. Not a feminist. Agree. Loves cooking. Not necessary. Not everyone is a chef. But what is necessary is being able to buy food. Loves her parents. No. Not all parents are good people. Dress modestly. Personal preference to me, but okay. Believes in God. That's good if you are religious. Doesn't go clubbing. I agree, but this applies to men as well because I don't understand why people go clubbing. Keeps her house clean. Everyone should follow this regardless of gender. Takes care of her appearance. See my earlier comment. If she must take care of her appearance, so must you. Doesn't drink or smoke. Agree, but I'd extend this to everyone, not just women. And finally, loves children. Well, if you are starting a family, both parents should love children, not just the mother. I think everyone should follow this regardless of gender. That's just me. Here's another relationship hoopla, but this one is tech related and it is incredibly stupid. This Reddit post asks if the OP is overreacting over a boyfriend who asked her to buy a work from home setup. and criticize the monitor resolution for being very low. First off, as a guy, don't you find it embarrassing to have the girl to pay for all your stuff? I wouldn't dare to ask my girl for $1, let alone $400 worth of tech. The fact that you have a woman who's willing to sacrifice that much for you shows how incredibly lucky you are. Also, if I asked my girlfriend for a $400 work from home setup, I would be very specific on the parts that I asked her to buy, and not just ask her to buy randomly. Why didn't you specify to her what monitor to buy? 32 inches are usually 1440p or 4K. That's not high enough for you? Or did you not set the resolution correctly? So you have your girlfriend buy your stuff for you without specifying what to buy, and you complain when she gets it wrong. Yeah, she's not overreacting, and you're an entitled brat. But hey, at least PC gaming and working from home are totally normal things to like. I don't understand how anyone can enjoy the topic of politics to the extent where it has to be a topic for every point of discussion. This post talks about someone who is obsessed with politics. This person is a right-winger, and anyone who doesn't align with his views or doesn't get angry because of politics is automatically a liberal communist left-winger. Welcome to the internet, where being a filthy centrist will get you hate from terminally online and terminally political people. If you spend most of your time arguing with liberals online, you're doing well in life. Also, unhealthy spending habits, moving back to his parents, yeah, not very good signs. Here's a shocking plot twist. He said that his white male friend is a leftist for dating a black woman, and yet he is dating the OP, a black woman. So he is a leftist then. Well, by his logic, you shouldn't marry him. He's gonna be a leftist, and that's bad for him. There you go. Problem solved. Speaking of men, the phrase "not all men" requires a lot more clarification in the form of a spectrum. This is the "not all men" spectrum, where someone wants to make the point that the evilness of men is a spectrum rather than a black and white situation. Okay, I'm a man, so let's read it. There's of course the cruel monsters and the textbook predators on the right, but then there are the men who passively enjoy predation. I don't know how you passively enjoy something. Men who think certain women deserve it? Whoa, how is this the middle part? That's horrible. Men who think predation is an unfortunate fact of life. I agree. Predators will exist the same way criminals will exist. We can't stop them from existing, but we can defend ourselves from them. Then there are men who underestimate the issue. I don't, but I also don't think telling men to not be a predator is helpful. And finally, heroic men who will intervene. I'm not heroic and I'd rather stay out of trouble, but I can, however, recommend pepper sprays. It's mostly legal everywhere around the world. And just look up self-defense lessons in general. The world is dangerous. Jeez, a lot of these real-life relationships are headache-inducing. Can we go back to fictional characters instead? This is a horrendous take, considering fictional characters.
The idea of you harming children is present, and I fully believe you'd harm a child sexually given the chance.
Well, believe what you like, but those Blue Archive players aren't going to harm anyone. The same can be said for Minecraft players.
Fictional children being depicted sexually is still very harmful.
Nope, that's about as harmful as killing people in video games.
When terrorists bombed the Twin Towers, police didn't let a simple first-degree murder go unheard of because there were bigger issues.
What? Are you insane? Where the hell did that come from? Why are you comparing liking fictional characters to 9/11 and first-degree murder?
You are still a pedo, whether it's fictional children or not. You are still an issue no matter what.
I think the real issue here is you. When you compare liking anime girls to 9/11 and first-degree murder, you are way off your meds, and you need some antipsychotics as soon as possible, no matter what. And that's all for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, here's a kitty for you. And also, huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your names among these legends, then check out the links down below. Just $1. You'll support this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my ABB Show channel, link down below. Go subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.